is going on, guys? Just because it's November 1st does not mean the horror stops. Nope, nope, nope. Um, I know I've seen a couple people, well, a bunch of people do their, top 10 favorite horror movie, blah, blah, blah. Um, and that's cool. I love seeing what people, think is the best horror movie. I don't judge movies like that. Um, every movie that I like is my favorite. Uh, you know, just because I like one movie doesn't mean that I like the next movie less. So the judge them from 1 to 10, I can't do. So these are all of my favorites. I think that's how we should judge movies, as they're all the favorites, not just there's a top spot. So when I do this, it's not a list, it's just my favorite movies. So yeah, let's get into it. First one up is Insidious. I do love, sorry guys, I got a cold. I do love 1, 2, and 3. Um, Most people think 3 is the weakest. I think 3 is the best out of all of them. I thought the respiratory guy was very creepy. The fact that the main antagonist, was basically crippled. She had like what broke both legs broken. It's not like she can run, but I just thought this series altogether was great. If they just stopped with 3, if it was just 3, I would be happy. If they did a fourth one, that'd be great too. My wife will not watch these with me. She hates them. She's seen the first one in the theater with me, and we slept with the light on for a whole year. So every time I woke up in the middle of the night, I had to reach over, turn off the light, fall back asleep, and then like an hour later, I wake up and the light be on. So yeah, she won't watch these with me anymore. But that's it. Next up is Fright Night. I do love the original Fright Night. I do have the original poster for Fright Night. I just can't put it up because my son, he's only 4, and it will scare the crap out of him. The Yenten Yelchin one. Hope I said that right. It is good. It does do what the original does. Kid next door finds out his neighbor's a vampire, and he doesn't believe it at first, and it's basically just like the first one, but the mom gets more involved in this one. Colin Farrell as what the hell is the vampire's Jerry, as the vampire Jerry, does a fantastic job. I love Colin Farrell as the bad guy. Yeah, and David Tennant as Peter Vincent as a stage magician was also brilliant, and he has a history with the vampires, as you will learn. But I prefer the original, but this is just on par with it. So yeah, I love this one. So keeping up with the Yenten, we'll look at Thomas. I have read the complete series of this. I think there's like 7 books, 8 books by Dean Coates, and oh, it says right there. This movie is very faithful to the first book, with a couple of things that not in the books, like Elvis. I don't think they had the rights to use Elvis as the ghost, so or they couldn't afford it, one or the other, or it just didn't fit in the story. But I altogether, this was a great movie. I loved it. The effects were great. The ghosts were great. Acting, Yenten just was phenomenal as Odd Thomas. I just loved him. William Dafoe was great. He plays the local sheriff. Yeah, it's just like there's a mystery and odds on the job, and at the end of the movie, it kind of made me cry, like in the book. So I'm a big wuss. Next up is it's stuck. Oh God, can you hear that? I got stuck. Is Saw. Out of the 7 movies, this is my favorite. And then maybe the second one, but then it kind of got just ridiculous over time, like a big joke. But the original Saw was fantastic. Danny Glover was amazing. It had me guessing, like, who would think that the guy sitting on the floor was Jigsaw, the killer? Like through the whole movie, you just thought he was some random dude with his head blown off. But yeah, it's just it's one of those movies that makes me cringe. I'm not into bloody gore stuff, but yeah, of all of them, this is the only one I actually own. So this is my favorite. So give that a look. Next up is, I don't know how many people have this one, but it's Knights of Badassium. I don't know how much of a horror this is. I would say like a horror fantasy. It's about a bunch of friends that kidnap this guy here, and because his girlfriend broke up with him, and drag him to like a Renaissance role playing fair. And Peter Dinklage's character is hilarious. He's always high on something, and they summon a succubus by mistake out of this book, this magic book. Steve Zane's character finds, and yeah, so this succubus is just going around killing people, and it's up to the group of fellow warriors to somehow defeat her and send her back to hell. So yeah, it's a pretty good one. I laughed a lot. American Werewolf in Paris. This is the first real werewolf movie I've ever watched. I think it was this or The Howling. But either way, both like terrified me as a kid. I prefer American Werewolf in London. I do like The Howling a lot too. It was very simplistic, just like point A, point B, point C, and that's it. Like the movie just goes ends, and you're like, what? Like I don't get any like aftermath or nothing. Just end it like that. Okay, thanks. I think the werewolf design was fantastic. I think the acting was great. I loved the dream sequences. They were always fun, and I thought it was just a good overall movie. I hated American Werewolf in Paris, but that's another thing. Next up is Evil Dead. This is the remake. Most people don't like the remake, but I do like the remake. I'm not saying that I don't like the original. I do. This is more horror than campy, which is always good. Like I said, I'm not into gore, but I went and saw this on my birthday, and I just fell in love with it. I loved the effects that he used. It was all like practical. It was, and the blood that they used at the end, like how many gallons? Like shitload of gallons. But it was just awesome. I loved it. Now, The Exorcist, the original, the one and only. Yeah, if you guys have seen my channel, you know I've talked about this time and time again. This is by far the best like possession demon movie I've ever watched. Some people don't like it. Some people think it's boring, but I just love the fact that it's good versus evil. The devil tempting man, and I just love Linda Blair in it. She's a phenomenal actress, and yeah, I just love this. And I do like the new TV series that's out. That's also pretty good. Sorry guys, my voice is just, I lost my voice. So next up is John Carpenter's The Thing. Now, if you don't like The Thing, then get the fuck out, because I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Why won't you like this one? And to prove that I do, I got the collector's edition DVD before I got the Blu-ray. So, I like a movie if I have the DVD and I have to get the Blu-ray. So, and I didn't even buy this for the special features, because there's not like there's no real features on this. I just wanted the Blu-ray, so I like the movie when I'm going, oh yeah, I'll just grab it. But there's like no special features on it. It's like, oh, I don't care. But yeah, I really love the practical effects they did for this movie. Kurt Russell is just amazing. Him and John Carpenter together is just like magic. Not saying this is my favorite. Not saying it's my favorite. But it is a great movie, and I do love it. Yeah. And I didn't mind the prequel. Most people don't like the prequel, but I like the prequel. Next up is From Hell with Johnny Depp. The Jack the Ripper killings. Very well done. I love the history of Jack the Ripper. And Yeah, there's not too much to say. If you don't know what Jack the Ripper or who Jack the Ripper was, then you really need to check that out. Most people already do. The comic is great. It's like this freaking thick. But yeah, it's another great movie. I love it. Gives you insight to the killer and who he was. Next up is... Whoa, I lost my camera. Oh my god. Did you see that shit? What is wrong with me today? God damn, I'm sorry. Next up is Dog Soldiers. Another great werewolf movie. This is probably like real up there with American Werewolf in Paris. It's a Scottish... I think it's Scottish or is it British? It's one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's Scottish. These soldiers go into the woods of the training camp, like a training exercise, and they stumble across an elite black ops group that was attacked by a werewolf or werewolves, and they kind of get sucked into it, and then they have to fight to survive the night. And yeah, the werewolf design is just epic in this thing, and it's brutal, and you realize how big these things are and how powerful they are. It's just a great movie. You have not watched it, I suggest you do. Rounding out here is Devil. It's produced by M. Night Shyamalan. And I know how to say his name, just screwing with you. It's Devil. This is just basically people in an elevator, and one of them is the devil, and he is going to take all the souls, and like all these people, they are not good people. So you should not be rooting for any of these people to live through the whole movie, because each and every one has a secret, and you're trying to figure out who's the devil, who's as bad as the next person. But yeah, you should hate each and every one of these people in the elevator, and you shouldn't be rooting for anybody to survive. But it is a great movie. Trying to narrow it down here because I'm running out of time. Next up is Michael Keaton's White Noise. This is an electric voice phenomenon movie with ghosts. He loses his wife in a car crash or something, or in an accident, and a gentleman comes up to him after he's experienced some EVPs. Well, the gentleman's experienced some EVPs with her letting him know about Michael Keaton's character, Jonathan, and after that, it's just like a roller coaster going down in his life. He's trying to figure out, what happened to her, and he keeps getting messages from the other side from other people. It's really creepy, and it's really cool, and this one actually does have some cool special features. But that's it, guys. Maybe I'll do another list. Well, it's not really a list, but it's my favorites. So, yeah, just, you know what? Leave me a like, throw me a comment of what's your favorite, and if you have not yet subscribed, because what do you got to lose, right? Alright, guys, I'll talk to you later.